good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Let's just jump right into it. Let's jump over to Africa, a continent just full of riches that have been already explored and manipulated and just destroyed for the most part, but it's trying to make a comeback. And it's been trying for like the past 4, 5, maybe even 10 years. I was reading this article from BBC titled "Why Some African Countries Don't Want Charity Clothes Anymore." If you know Africa's history, really a lot of countries and continents, but mainly countries that are labeled third world countries, they get a lot of charity clothes. They're clothes that we in the first world or America and countries in Europe, once we get done wearing them, we donate them to like places like Salvation Army and international organizations, and then they take those clothes and they'll actually sell them at a reduced price in these other countries. And you'll also see like the running joke where the loser of the Super Bowl, they had shirts made for them in case they did win the Super Bowl, and a lot of those kids in Africa will wear those shirts, or different countries, what have you, will wear those shirts, and they'll be like, when did the Patriots win Super Bowl 52, whichever one we're on, or when did the Cavaliers win 3 out of 4 NBA finals? If you live in some of these countries, you might think that, because apparently they used to get those shirts. I don't know if that still happens or if they just completely burn the shirts now. Who knows? But anyway, Africa doesn't want any more charity clothes, and I think it's pretty cool. It's interesting because we, the United States, European countries, and even China have done their best to make sure that Africa remains an open market so that we can flood those African countries with our textiles. And it's been hurting Africa's businesses. Well, they've had enough of it. Countries like Rwanda, Burundi, a whole bunch of them are saying we've had enough, and we want to make our countries great for once. Not even make them great again, make them great for once. And so it's really interesting, this article I'm reading. It's like, I think they should be given a chance to do this. I think just like how we want to make America great again, you have Trump throwing tariffs left and right that are hurting American businesses, it seems, more than it's helping. He's now giving farmers loans to help prop up their businesses. Well, countries like Rwanda, Burundi, Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, they're all part of this East African community, and they should be able to do what they want. So Rwanda has been apparently at ends with the U.S. It says pressure from the United States. Countries had reduced their own tariffs and withdrew a proposed ban that would have banned U.S. Textiles. However, Rwanda didn't back down. They're saying in March 2018, the U.S. even suspended Rwanda from an arrangement which allowed sub-Saharan countries preferential access to the U.S. market. But Rwanda stood firm and maintained its import tariff, saying it wanted to build up its own made in Rwanda textile industry. And what's so wrong about this? What is wrong with that at all? Why must we be so adamant that our products must be sold in these other countries? Is it that we're growing too much? Maybe, but that means we need to make more sustainable businesses ourselves and stop relying on other countries and developing countries to try and flood their markets with. So I'm really interested to hear what other people have to say. Obviously, world trade policies, Africa has been under pressure from the World Bank and International Monetary Fund to open up their markets to foreign trade, and I think that's just wrong. I think it's ridiculous to force a country that is trying to stabilize themselves, that is trying to have enough, money for themselves and enough prosperity for themselves. It undermines it when you throw in your cheap products. I mean, think about how America responded when the Chinese solar boom happened and they just started throwing solar panels into the U.S. market. It destroyed the solar industry, and people were all like, oh, it's Barack Obama's fault. No. It was our trade policies that we had with China that allowed them to just flood the market with solar panels and solar equipment. And until we actually cut that off and said, hey, you can't do that anymore, our solar industry plummeted and failed miserably. So I think that the East, or these East African community countries, should be allowed to close their gates, just like China. They had a closed economy. We can't sell half the things that we want to sell, or not China, Japan. We can't sell a lot of things in Japan because they have a closed economy. And I believe that these African countries, I mean, how much have they suffered? We all know about Rwanda, things that happened in Uganda. They have suffered so much. They should get a chance to stabilize their states, their countries, their communities, and get their businesses back on track. Allow those countries to make themselves great again, or great for the first time ever. Let me know what you guys think of this, and I will see you all tomorrow. Peace out.